Welcome to the Chat with Chou podcast, hosted by Chou Allegra, well-being and belonging consultant, best-selling author, and sought-after speaker. Join Chou as she connects with both new and familiar faces, showcasing their inspiring work and businesses. Together, we will explore insightful conversations, practical tips, and valuable resources aimed at fostering individual and collective growth both personally and professionally. Let's embark on this journey towards greater well being and belonging together. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Chat with Chou podcast. I'm interviewing new and old friends to get to know them better, but also to introduce them to the world. And this month, we are doing a whole series of interviews of people who identify as people with disability, and to bring awareness to all the abilities that those of us who are, have disabilities per se, or called people with disability, or bring to the table. So today is no different. I have my friend Danielle with me. Danielle, welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm really excited.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So we can jump right into it. And if you want to share more about who you are, what you do.
Yeah. My name is Danielle. I'm originally from Israel. I'm 28 and I'm a professional freelance illustrator, animator, comics artist. I have a book I published by myself, which is in Hebrew,
Mhm.
which is called The Optic Nerve, which is an biography of
Mhm.
myself.
Yeah.
Uh, with my experiences as someone who was born visually impaired. And I also exhibit my art in galleries nationwide, and I even had opportunities abroad. And I work with clients worldwide, starting from private commissions, private clients, up to professionals, businesses, enterprises, and I really hope soon to work with publishers and much more next.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'll tell a bit about my disability.
Yeah.
As I said, I was born visually impaired. I was born with cataracts, and I was operated since the age of 3 months. And I
Mhm.
went through lots of eye examinations and operations. And from the age of 3, I'm dealing with glaucoma, which affects the eye pressure and the optic
Mhm.
nerve. And that's what I'm dealing with to this day. And it also affects my vision. So
Mhm.
that's why I'm considered visually impaired. But at the same time, that was the first time I started drawing at the age of 3. At the time, glaucoma was at its peak. Uh, so I just found my passion in a very, very young age, and I always knew that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I I made my dream come true. That's for sure.
Yes, yeah. Oh, beautiful story. Because it's no, it's so easy for people to think people hear, oh, you're visually impaired, and you say you're illustrator, make it make sense, right? People will be like, that doesn't
Yeah,
go together. And then, but this is why we're doing these interviews, because we want to shatter the stereotypes. We want to shatter people's biases and ableism, and realizing that all of us have so much to bring to the table. And whatever diagnoses we have, conditions we have, does not define who we are, because like you, so many more are defying the odds, right? And we're doing
yeah,
amazing things in spite, people can say in spite of them. No, it sometimes is because of the things that we're going through, the conditions that we're experiencing, that actually motivates us, inspires us to do those things, that the things we're doing today. So I am so honored to have you here and be able to share you with the world. And so you say you started drawing at 3. And
yeah.
when did this kind of turn into more of a serious thing? So how'd you get started as like a professional illustrator? So you got that passion at 3, and just take us back to that journey, how you grew into who you are today in your
Yeah,
profession.
so as as I can remember, I just knew this is something I'm going to do not just as a hobby, as a little girl, I just knew that I'm going to be a professional. Not just, I just not just beyond doing it for fun, which was sometimes an escapism, sometimes it was just for pleasure, for for me it was also a way to understand the world around me as someone who struggles with vision. And I just realized that's what I'm going to do when I'm going to grow up. I didn't want something else. I just knew I want to create for the rest of my life. So ever since I was a child, I went to art courses, for
Mm-hmm.
children, some tutoring here and there. And when I was in high school, I had art and graphic design studies.
Mm-hmm.
So I majored in that.
Right.
And I finished with excellency. And after that, in Israel, we have to do mandatory service in the army. So what I did, I became a graphic designer for
Wow.
Homefront
Wow.
Command, which
Amazing.
provides instructions for these citizens how to protect themselves from earthquakes and fires and even attacks, everything. So I did lots of content for children, animations, and it was really a big jump start for my career. And that's where I even understood what specifically I want to do. Because in high school and in my service, I did a lot of graphic design and motion graphics, which is less in the niche of illustration. Illustration is more of character design, doing children's book illustration, which is what I do today. And I usually did some more abstract stuff, more basic stuff, regarding graphic design. And that's when I understood I want to go more deep into comics and illustration. And right after the army, I started college. I went to Shenkar College for Art and Design, which is in Israel is considered one of the top design schools. And I was accepted right after I finished my service, and I did 4 years with my bachelor's in visual communication. And that's where it even went deeper into my profession, and I majored in illustration, studied 2D animation, book illustration, character design, even a bit of visual development and game art. Um, and after I graduated, I just knew that I'm going to do it as a freelancer. Something, I had the guts that told me I'm going on freelance, which it's a very drastic and hard decision at first.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that there are really good benefits with being with having a disability. When I was in college, we had a very unique program that was promoted by Fiverr. If you don't know, it's
Yeah, I use Fiverr. I
yeah,
love the platform. Yes.
yeah. So if someone here doesn't know, Fiverr is a platform which can deliver services in different types of professions, translation, audio recording, voiceover, and of course, graphic design and illustration. So it was a free programs for gifted students with disabilities, specifically in any type of profession. It didn't matter as long as they want to start a freelance career, and they can kickstart it with Fiverr. So, my, how do I say, consultant in my college, she recommended me this program, and I said, okay, why not? Like, I give it a shot. And in the end, it was really, really a life changing event for me because it even gave me more guts to just decide, okay, I'm going to do it full time. And it gave me this opportunity to showcase my portfolio to the world. And in the end, I'll talk about it much deeper, but in the end, it really goes to show that my portfolio spoke to itself. And it goes to show I do have clients, and I do have interesting works I'm doing. And I feel like I did made my dream come true. Although there are so many things I can do. I'm still young, and I really want to do more things along the way.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I'm just, you're beaming of joy, and it's not even my story. Just like, wow, amazing, right? Just, you took advantage of every opportunity that were given to you. And someone might even think, oh, you have to do mandatory, military time, that would army time, that would not feel fun per se, that people won't, enjoy it. But you took, see the opportunity to, to do something you're passionate about and kind of own your craft, right? And get better at it. And that open doors to more things, so, and even with fiber, that's amazing. I recently just found that fiber started in Israel. I didn't even know that. So that's,
Yeah,
again, so pretty cool that, you didn't let, like you say, yes, you're young, there's a lot of many other things you could be doing, but you knew from a young age, which is very, very touching too, because most people at 3 don't know what they want. Like, all of us went through, like, no,
exactly.
I'm gonna draw for fun, when the rest of us are doing like little doodles, like nothing of significance per se, right? And then, maybe the a friend will love it, love us enough to put it on the fridge or something. But for you, like, you were intentional about it from the beginning, at such a young age, knowing this is what I want to do. And then
Yeah,
coming out of college, many people don't know what they want to do when they, what they want to study in college, or when they even come out of college, how to use a degree. But you're like, I know I'm going to do this as a freelancer, and you were very determined, and in spite of everything going on, you didn't let that stop you. Keep pushing and doing great things. So kudos to you, because of you not giving up. Here you are, doing great work that the rest of the world get to enjoy. And but I'm sure that, like many of us, if not all of us as entrepreneurs, you had your own challenges along the way. So what are some things that were challenging for you, things that you faced along the way, and how did you, keep going?
oh yeah. I had lots of challenges at first. Um, and it's still ongoing, but I guess I'm getting let's say I'm overcoming challenges each step. I think the first things I encountered was firstly, um, is freelancing a stable job? Of course, not every job is stable, but I told myself, why not just give it a shot? If it doesn't go well, I can always try and apply for full-time jobs in my profession. I can go back to graphic design. I can do a side hustle, doing a full-time job while investing in my career and doing a freelance. But for me, it ended up being a good idea to keep on being a freelance. So, one of the things I also struggled with is, in general, understanding the scope of a freelance business. How do you manage it? How do you set your prices? What types of services am I going to provide? And you think like, okay, it's very general, doing graphic design, but what exactly? Because in graphic design, in illustration, there are very specific niches. What you're going to do? Are you going to do children's book illustration for adults? There. How about character design for animation or for businesses? Illustration for brands or visual development or for physical games or video games. There are so many. I won't say genres, but so many niches that you can apply yourself into, and that's something you have to do your own research and also get yourself thinking, and just think about not just what would be the easiest, but even the most fun. And for me, I just realized it would be children's book illustration. I did for many years, I did animations, but then I told myself, I don't have to do this all the time. I can do it sometimes, for projects I like or for my personal gain. But I decided I want to do character design for business. I want to do, as I said, also art for physical games, etc., etc. So that's something that took a lot of time to research for. Um, and also, one of the most challenging things that, as an artist, I had to deal with is finding my own voice, because
Yes.
there's so much competition out there. So many
Mm-hmm.
people have their own art styles. Lucky for me, when I was in college, people always said that I have my own voice, that people
Right.
can recognize my art style. And I think it's inspired from very different things, and I always knew that I will stand out no matter what. I think my
Mm-hmm.
inspirations were very different from my friends and colleagues, at least where I live in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it paid off because I see that I stand out from the crowd, and clients that are discussing with me for potential cooperation, they tell me, I saw your art in XYZ and I really like it. It's do
Mm-hmm.
that for me. And that's something that I think people should think about regarding art, creative profession. How can you stand out from the crowd? I,
Yeah.
for example, I love really old cartoons from the 1930s, and
Mm-hmm.
also really wild cartoons from the 90s, like Cartoon Network shows,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Looney Tunes. I really love these. And here it's a bit obscure. I won't say
Mm-hmm.
too much. People know it, but um, I didn't see many people drawing that art style, at least where I live.
Yeah.
And it made me stand out even worldwide, which is really awesome.
Beautiful, beautiful. Wow, wow. Again, you know, even with the challenges, you turn those into opportunities, right? That work for you. So I just love that. I love that tenacity. I love like just, your go get it kind of attitude. It's like, I'm gonna figure this out. And you're so right about entrepreneurship. How people think, oh, I'm just gonna start a business, and then they throw themselves out there, right? And then realize, oh, it's not as easy as I thought, I have to, like you say, figure out, how to set it up and how to run it, and definitely like how to stand out, because for all of us, there's so many other people doing similar things, but it's not the exact same thing. I remember I
Yeah.
had a coach, a business coach, when I first started my business like 9 years ago. She mentioned that when I was trying to figure out by a specific program, like, well, no, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. People already have that. People can find this there. Like, my point was that what I thought I wanted to do, other people already doing it. So she told me, well, try to go into a grocery store tomorrow. And then when you go to a grocery store, go through the bread aisle. And especially, in the countries like here in the US, you go for the bread aisle. There's so many different types of bread. And even within the different categories of bread, there's different brands, offering the same kind of bread. So even if you're like, well, I want wheat bread, for example, you will find, wheat or rye, you're going to find so many categories, so many brands of businesses, if you want, companies offering the exact same, well, name of bread, type of bread. They don't taste the same. There's something that differentiates the one from another, right? And it's the same thing with ice cream. How many type of vanilla ice cream or chocolate ice cream can you have? But how many companies are
Yeah,
still making chocolate and vanilla ice cream, right? Think about it. It's the
yeah,
exact same
exactly,
way,
exactly.
but each one finds something that helps them stand up from the crowd. That's a little different. And then those of us who are, partake on those products or use those products or eat those ice cream or the bread, then we find our favorite because, like, oh, I like this one better, that this brand better, because it's something about them that stand out, to us, maybe just to our taste buds, but whatever works, right? So I
Yeah.
really, really like that you mentioned that. Yeah. And so being an entrepreneur is hard, right? Being a human being is hard, no matter who you are or what you do. And I feel like life is always this constant balancing act. We're always trying to balance our time, our energy, our resources, And so how do you balance it all as an entrepreneur?
So I think one thing I'm always keeping on doing is just keeping on learning. I think it's an ongoing journey all the time, even after you graduate college or you have a very specific milestone. I think always keeping on that mindset that we can always go on higher and we can always keep on learning. That's something that helps me a lot. Understand that it's not going to end. I'm going every time I have new dreams and new struggles I want to overcome. I'm going to some webinars that teach me about how I can manage my business better. I go on to some cool sessions for art. I'm doing personal art, and I think of ideas for more comic books and even children books I want to write someday. So I always keep myself, keep my brain energized, let's say, with
Yeah,
more,
yeah.
more knowledge and skills. I
Yes.
think that's a way that I can balance it,
Yeah.
regarding the mental state of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think, regarding the finance stuff, always getting a second helping is always a good idea. So
Mm-hmm.
I hired an accountant, which is thankfully very supportive, and I'm extremely lucky. I forget to say that,
Mm-hmm.
how lucky I am that I have a big support from my family and friends,
Right.
and that's something that is very not for granted, that
Mm-hmm.
I have such a supportive family that always, keeps me on, keeps me going on and not giving up, and just
Right.
doing more stuff, learning more, and overcoming new struggles, and
Yeah.
having a new milestone.
Right.
So I think that's a way that I can balance everything.
Yeah. That's great. The support system is imperative for all of us, right? No matter what we do, like every human being needs to be supported. And so, yeah, thanks for bringing that up as well. And because often people think, oh, I can do it myself. But then you realize all the things you do, even by yourself, takes energy, takes time. And there are going to be other things. If you, other people come and help with parts of it, then it
Yeah.
frees time and energy for you to do other things that only you can do, right? So
Yeah.
that's really good to have that support system. Yeah, especially things like accounting. I'm with you. Like I love being an entrepreneur. I love what I do as a craft, writing, speaking, counseling and so forth, consulting. But numbers, yeah, I can add, but even if I can do it, it's not something that I will wake up out of bed and cheerful about doing. So I'm glad that there are other people who find joy in doing, doing the accounting part of our businesses. So I'm with you on that part for sure. Yeah, so it's good you brought that you mentioned about the support, having your family and friends. But how can we support you? People listening here, how can they support you and support your business?
Um, I think that, first of all, I have big dreams. I think that, first of all, letting voices be heard. For example, in my country, I get opportunities to lecture in schools about the comic book I made and the story of my life. I think raising more awareness is a very good
Yeah.
idea, not just in about my disability, but
Mhm.
about my niche as a freelance illustrator. I have big dreams to pitch to some, to big publishers, to big businesses, and
Mhm.
maybe I'll have my own studio someday. So
Yes.
that's something I really, really want to do later in my life. And in general, if anybody has an idea for a book, a children's book, or a book in
Mhm.
general, comics, or any kind of connections, you never
Mm.
know where it leads you in the end.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, and correct me if I'm wrong. No, I think also what you're saying is that if people have ideas for books and need an illustrator, they can reach out to you. You can serve and support organizations and individuals all across the globe, right? No matter where they are. Thanks to technology, we can do these things now.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So definitely, if you have illustration needs, feel free to know. Please reach out to Danielle. And so my last question, like, where can people find you? What are your website, social media handles? We're
Oh
also going to put
yes.
those with in the notes of the with your bio. But if you don't mind sharing it out loud before we close here, it'd be great.
Yeah. So I have my own portfolio website, which is danielleongo.com, which will provide, of course, where
Yes.
I showcase all the projects I did, whether it's books I illustrated or character designs I did for companies. And there I have my full bio and lots of
Mm.
different types of projects you can check out, and maybe even work with me. I
Yeah.
also have my Instagram where I showcase my portfolio as well, and even some drawings I do for for fun, when I have the
Mhm.
time. I
Yeah.
even publish some drawings for fun or update
Yes.
about projects of mine. Same goes for my Facebook page and also LinkedIn for business inquiries.
Yeah, beautiful. And we will share all those links, with the notes here of the podcast. But again, thank you, Danielle, for all that you do. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And everyone listening, if you or someone you know needs Illustrator, you know who to contact. So thank you all for listening and go out there and be great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Chat with Chou podcast. We hope today's episode inspired and informed you on your journey towards growth. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Follow Chou Allegra on social media to stay updated on upcoming episodes and more resources. Until next time, take care and keep striving for well being and belonging in all areas of your life.